So look, let me say this, man. The whole reason why first let me tell you the story of how this even came up.
Okay.
So first of all, I'm out trying to do the life insurance thing.
Mm-hmm.
Holla at your boy if you need some life insurance.
There you go.
It's a little plug, you know what I mean? Holla at your
There
boy.
you go.
Reach out to him first, and
Right.
then we'll get you in contact with me. So, anyways,
Okay.
I'm on the line with my boy. We talking about life insurance, just trying to get the business going.
Okay.
Now, for those that don't know, I do got 4 kids.
Mm-hmm.
I do got an ex, and we get along for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But every once in a while, we get in a situation where something comes up. You know what I mean? And so, just from one man venting to another, I was talking to my friends, a real good friend of mine I've known since I was like 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
So we started chopping it up, and I'm kind of explaining what I'm going through. And as I'm talking to him, I guess because of the tone and I guess because of what I was discussing, he thought that I would be down. So, for example, I was kind of talking about how my ex was trying to keep my kids from me. Or at least that's how I took it.
Right. Right.
I don't want to just go out there and say she was doing that.
That's how you.
She was probably doing that, but I'm not going to just go out there
Right.
on record to say she was doing that.
Right.
She was probably doing
Because
that.
if you got that feeling, it was a strong feeling. There's
Right.
a reason behind the feeling. Okay.
Right. And as I'm doing it, though, so I'm telling him, just kind of what's going on. So immediately he's like, yo, man, are you going to do this? Are you going to get at her? Are you going to yell? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Do what I think probably the average man would do.
Right.
Be upset.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Be upset. Be angry.
Yeah.
Cuss her out. Show up at the house. Pull up.
Right.
Yell. You know what I mean? Do the most.
Right.
And I just didn't have that approach. And he started laughing.
Really?
Yeah, man. Had the man in tears, man. He was laughing and he goes, look, man, he said, if you don't mind, I want to express to you and what you're doing for me. And I want to tell 3 to 4 other brothers about your story.
Okay.
And I'm like, what are you talking about, man? And he's like, because the way that you're doing it, he's like, I know some people right now that would love to hear that.
Right.
And so I was like, yeah, man, of course, I'm not thinking none of it,
Right.
And but after we got off the phone, I immediately thought of you. And I'm like, man, it's been a while since me and you linked back up.
Right.
Number one, so it's good to see you. I appreciate it.
Good to see you too.
Also, it was like, hey, man, maybe I should just give a different perspective about how we go about this in these situations. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because, of course, I'm not saying my way is perfect. I'm not saying my way is the right way. I'm just saying this is how I do it, and I'm just telling you that this is what makes me comfortable and allows me to sleep at night.
Right.
And I feel like my success rate is good. If you want to do from a business aspect, I feel like I got a good closing rate. So I just this is how I handle it.
Okay.
So, long story short, this is how I feel, man. Okay. I feel like that we as males that are dealing with kids in our relationships and not being able to see our kids when we want to, or see our kids on a day-to-day basis, or having a situation where we say we have a baby mama.
Yeah.
We have been conditioned. Let me make sure I say that. Conditioned to believe that there's nothing we could do.
Right.
And I don't believe that, bruh. I just don't believe that, I'm going to put this out there first, and I'm going to say the key part in all of this, though, is you have to play the long game. As men, we need to understand that everything that we do as men is a long game. We never play a short game. And that's just in life in general.
Okay.
You know
I like
that.
that.
When we were being raised as kids, we were taught, like, you do this for your future.
True.
So that's how everything is supposed to be. Even our relationships, even how we deal with our relationships. We play the long game. Now, I come to see that most women play the short game.
Okay.
It's the instant gratitude. It's what's happening right now. How do I get him right now instead of thinking, how do I get him in the long run? So, as men, we need to remember that we play the long game, never the short game.
Okay.
Number one. All right. Number two, if you are dealing with a newborn, like, so for example, if your baby's anywhere from 1 to, I'm gonna say 1 to 4.
Okay.
You're kind of stuck. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like if your son or your daughter is 1 to 4, it's gonna be very difficult to try to use these things in the beginning because a lot of this is based off of your relationship with your kids.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. And is it because more like that's like the nurturing phase before they become more of a independent from their parents?
I mean, because I look at it as like when they're 1 to 3, they really don't know much anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? And a lot of times, like, they can't really speak because speaking is a big piece in it. They have to be able to communicate for themselves. Right. They have to be able to do some type of rationale for themselves. Right. And obviously, they're young, so I don't expect them to have like this divine intervention thought process. Right. But they got to be able to put sentences together. Okay. If they can't put sentences together, then their whole communication, their whole way of talking to you is through their parents. Right. And if you're not getting along with your ex, then it is what it is. True. It's a wrap. You know what I mean? Okay. But so I don't have an answer for the people that are in a situation where they have a young child. Okay. All I can say is you do your best to maintain whatever relationship it is that you have with your kids. You have to have a relationship with your kids. So if you're just starting out and like you're only seeing them once a week, then see them once a week. Okay. I don't want to downplay the importance of seeing your kids whenever you can. Right. And disregard however your mom the mom is doing. It doesn't matter. Okay. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if she's telling you can only see him a week, or if you can only see him 2 weeks, or if you can only see him in 1. I promise you, it doesn't matter at that age. Okay. As long as when you see them, you are filling that relationship void with that kid, because I'm telling you, this is what happens. You ready for this? Okay. So they start to go to school, kindergarten. Okay. You know what I mean? Right. Once they go to kindergarten, they start to analyze and they start to do the thought process for themselves. And this is what I mean by that. When you go to school, especially kindergarten, what's conversations? Skin color, toys, exactly. Right? Yeah,
what are you?
What are you? You know, the stupid stuff. Right. And mommy, daddy.
True, because that's all you know.
I want you. That's deep though. And mommy, daddy. Okay. Right? As long as they know they have a dad, that's the key part.
Okay, I can see that.
Whether they see him once a week, once a month, once a year, or as long as they understand they have a dad, that's the key part. Okay. So my kids know they have a dad. Right. My caveat, I'm just telling you right now, I'm very, very in contact with my kids. You know what I mean? So they know they have a dad. Right. Not only do they know they have a dad, they know they have a dad that always wants to see them. Now, he might not always be able to see them. Right. And we'll get into that later. Okay. Okay. But he always wants to see them. Right.
You know what I mean? They know that.
And they know that.
Feeling that comes with that. Okay.
They know that. Right. You know what I mean? So, this is what happens when I get in a situation where I cannot see them. Okay. They ask why. Right. You see what I'm saying? That's deep right there. Right. They ask why. Right. My kids are like, whoa. You're not going to, because they don't ask me. Right. See, my kids don't say to me, Dad, can I come? That's not a question I've ever been asked from my kids, really. Because they know they can come. Gotcha. The question they ask is, when are they coming? Okay. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So when they ask when they're coming, my answer to them always is, whenever you want. When you want to come. Right. Okay. Right? Okay. That's deep. Because then they say, tomorrow. I'm like, come on. Right. Right. I need to come pick you up? Or is your mom going to drop you off? Okay. And then what happens?
They got to go to the mom.
They got to go to their mom. They got to go to their mom.
Right, right.
And if their mom turns around and tells any of my kids that they cannot come, Now she has to deal with that.
Yeah.
And I don't care what you say. I don't care how cold the mom is or whatever. That's going to affect them.
Yeah.
That's going to affect them. If the kids are like, yo, I want to go see dad.
Yeah.
And they know that dad is saying, come on.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, Mom, why are you saying why not?
Yeah, why are you holding me back from
Why are you holding me back? He's saying he wants to come. He said he'll come pick me up.
Right.
What's the problem?
Right.
You understand what I mean?
Right.
Let them figure that out. Let them be the ones that try to tell the kids, oh, they can't come because of whatever excuse they want to try to make up.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm a big believer, man. It's just you have to build that relationship with your kids because. So I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. When I first got, so I was married, and when I got divorced, I went to court. You know, here out in Washington, part of the process is you have to go to, put like a parenting plan together, and you have to do all that stuff. So we went to court, and we went through the whole thing, and basically we set it up to where I'm able to see the kids every weekend.
Okay.
All right. So every weekend they come over, they kind of do their thing, and I was very intentional about making sure that my kids knew that there was a schedule also.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so they are hitting me up before I'm hitting them up. I made sure they knew there was a schedule, and I made sure they knew there was a time.
Okay.
You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the older they get, the better they're at this stuff. Because now they're looking at the clock like, yo, we got 30 minutes before we got to go to dad's house. Right. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And so as I train them and as I go through this with them, it helped develop the process, right? Okay. Now, the most important thing I ever heard from the parenting plan was that what happens when the kids are in her custody, there's nothing I can do about it. And that's tough for parents to really understand. Okay. I was up, man, and you know how I am, man. You know how I am. Man, I'm in this class with all these people, and I say, oh, hold on. Let me get this straight.
Yeah.
So if she's not feeding him, if she's hitting him, if she's whatever the situation is, you're telling me, like, it is what it is? And the man told me, he said, man, there's nothing more important to a child's development than the bond with the kids and the parents. So from a court standpoint, I mean, unless the parent is putting them in a situation where they might kill them, they're going to allow them to see them. I mean, the parent could be a crackhead. They're going to arrange some type of time for them to see it.
Right, because they still want to build that bond.
They have to have that bond. So from a court standpoint, as a parent, and this goes both ways now, you are backed. You are able to see your kid. There's no way that they're going to allow a parent to keep the other parent from you. It's just now the time in which you guys arrange. Gotcha. So I tell every man out there right now, man, if you want to see your kids, go to court. You don't need lawyers. You don't need any of that. You just need to go to court and tell them you want to see your children, and they're going to put a schedule together. Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's going to be some type of schedule. Right. You don't even there's no kind of lawyer argument or anything about that. You know what I mean? There's going to be a schedule. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then now you just need to abide by that. You know what I mean? Because if you don't abide by that, then you're giving the other person more power to try to take that away from you. Gotcha. And so I would just say agree to something that you feel like you can take care of and you can accommodate. Okay. But I promise you, if it's once a week, if it's 2 times a week, if it's once a month, if it's 2 times a month, it doesn't matter. Who you are as a parent for them is crazy, man. Kids look at parents as superheroes. Right. But kids look at dads as like gods. And I'm not trying to say that to be like try to up myself or saying I'm saying as men and as fathers, man, we are amazing to our kids. Okay. We're amazing to our kids. You know what I mean? Yeah. Kids, like, you gotta remember, mothers are like a mom is the nurturer. Yeah. We are the protector. True. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if there's anything they fear, dad's got their back. Right. Dad's is like, listen, man. Now, first of all, I mean, you see me out here. First of all, let's see. You know what I mean? But I laugh. But I laugh to say that because but I'm not the biggest to any other man out here. We know, I'm not the tallest, biggest. Like, but to my sons though, my son would listen. This man's easily taller than me. Easily. You probably can't see it because we both sitting down. But this man is easily taller than me. You know what I mean? Bigger than me. But you ask my son, no, he'll tell you. You ain't stronger than my dad, though. Right. You ain't stronger than him. Mm-hmm. And he believes that. You understand what I'm saying? Right. And so that's important. I just want to tell you, man, like in your kids' eyes, I think we look at each other so much and we understand how we analyze and how we look at stuff that we overthink what it is. You know what I mean? And what it is very simple. It's very simple. To them, they have a mom and they have the dad, and there's nothing bigger than that. And at the end of the day, the dad is the biggest. They love their mom, and I'm not trying to knock and say they don't love their mom, but the dad is the biggest. Right. You're the dad. Right. Understand what I'm saying? Differently, yeah. You're the dad, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They almost feel like mom should be listening to dad. Right. You understand what I mean? Yeah. So I say that to say there's so much responsibility in us just to understand that, because you have that same power to show them how much you love them, and you also have that same power to show how much you don't love them by not holding up to your responsibility, whatever it is. Gotcha. You know what I mean? So, like from a kid standpoint, okay, if they know they see dad once a month, what's a month? They don't understand that concept of what a month is. They just know that dad's supposed to come see me on this day. So on that day, show up. Yeah. Whatever that day is, show up. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And you ain't got to come with gifts. You ain't got to come with gifts. You got to come with toys. You ain't got to come with any of that stuff. Man, just show up. Right. If you show up, you're going to win them over. You're going to win them over.
That's good. That's good.
You know what I mean? Because you're there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just pull up. Yo, I'm there. Right. You know I mean? Flex on them a couple times. You got a little boy, flex on them a couple times. Like, hey, man, I'm here, man. You know what I mean?
But if it's a girl, gift, essentially.
You're the gift. Yeah. You are, though.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. You are the gift, man. So when you show up, they're like, yo, man, look at that. You know what I mean?
True.
And then tell him, yo, next month on this day, I'm back here again.
I'll see you again.
I'm back here again. Right. Trust, I'm going to be here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when they see that consistency, you know what I mean? Then there's no problem. And I'm going to tell you where my ex messed up.
Okay.
I'll tell you where she fucked up at. You ready? Okay. She gave them phones.
Oh, so now they're in constant contact.
Yeah, they can easily access me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm like, hit me. Yeah, man, I'm texting them. I'm shooting them texts like, yo, I'm waiting for you. Where you at?
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? And then so now she's got to tell them, no, I'm not going to bring you over there. She has to tell them, no, you can't come this weekend.
Right.
She's got to say all that stuff. You know what I mean? So anytime we ever get in a situation where she threatens me, like, hey, I'm not going to bring them or whatever, man, I just be like, okay.
Right.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna put my secret out here. You ready?
Go for it.
If I get a call or a message or something where she's like, you know what, I'm not going to let you see them. I said, all right. I get off the phone and I call my kids and say, yo, I'm going to see you this weekend.
just to
emphasize.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, I'm ready to see you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then that way, now it's like, now the ball's back in your court. Like, all right, what you want to do?
You hear about that so often of usually the female parent, the mom, using their kids against the fathers. Like, that just, I mean, why would you do that knowing that it only hurts the kid?
Let me say this to you, man. If your ex is trying, if your baby mama or whatever is trying to keep the kids from you as a way to hurt you, you are doing a damn good job as a father. Let me say that first.
Because that's her only power.
If she understands that the way to attack you is the kids, then you are doing a damn good job as a father. Because if she sees the connection, she sees like that's where I gotta attack him.
Right.
Then that means obviously you're doing something right. Because if she was like, yo, I'm gonna come through and burn your Jordans up, then I would say you struggling as a father, man. Gotcha. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Because she's not even thinking, oh, to hurt him, I'm gonna take his kids. If she's not thinking that, then I say you're doing a terrible job as a father.
That's true, because the kids are the ultimate.
The kids are the ultimate. So if she knows, okay, if I want to hurt him, I want to take the kids from him, then I salute you. Hey, man, you're doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing.
That's a deep perspective.
You understand what I'm saying, though?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because she sees it.
Yeah.
I mean, she sees it.
Yeah.
I mean, she really understands how important you are to them and how important they are to you. So that's the angle that she's trying to use to attack you.
Interesting. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would say, okay, take a step back. Understand that you left her for a reason. And I don't mean that to be rude, but you left her for a reason.
True.
So why you still arguing with her? Don't argue with her.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Very
and then move on to what you was here. Go back to your mission. Play the long game. The long game is you're trying to set up a big, strong foundation with you and your children.
Right. Right.
And that doesn't happen overnight. You know what I mean? It takes time.
Right.
So
that's deep.
Me and my kids are so solid now that, man, like, so again, I see them every weekend. I mean, that's how it's set up. That's how it's supposed to go. If for some reason they don't come this weekend, I promise you, my kids are not going to miss a beat. They're not going to think dad doesn't like them or whatever. They're going to 100% think mom didn't kept them from dad.
Right. Yeah, they're not going to put it on you. You're the reason why they're not there.
Nope.
Right.
Not even a little bit, man.
Right.
And then when I see them next week, I'm not going to even bring up my ex. I hope my kids don't see this because I don't even say anything about my ex.
Yeah.
With my kids. I don't need to.
Yeah, exactly.
I really don't need to.
You and your ex's relationship is between you.
It has nothing to do with anything. I just, when my kids pull up, I'm like, yo, what's up? What happened?
Right.
And I missed you last week. Man, I wish you was here last week.
Right.
I missed you was here last week.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But now that you're here this week, we're gonna party.
Right.
And then when I'm dropping you off, hey, I'm gonna be back next week.
Right.
I'm gonna be back next week.
And I think that's a big deal because, you hear about it in I've heard about this so much through friends too, and I've heard it, just observations of hearing conversations where, you sometimes have that parent that's trying to make the other parent look bad.
Right.
But they're making them look bad to their kids with stuff that they're going through with them.
Right.
Like the adult stuff. Nothing they're doing that's kid related.
Right.
He's no good because of something he did to me or something he said to me.
Right.
Not about the kids.
Right.
But they're playing it as if like, oh, your dad's, he ain't shit. But they can't really explain why he ain't shit. They're just saying he ain't shit. And it's like, that doesn't have anything to do with the kids.
But like I said, man, it's as a dad, I always felt like it's hard for us as men anyway because we need to understand that like we can't live by the moment. We've never been taught that, so I don't understand why we take that angle so much when it comes to women. Okay. Everything we do, we understand that like it's not by the moment. We do push-ups. We do push-ups knowing that we're not gonna get swole right now.
Right. But in a month, do 100 push-ups a
day.
Your end result
we go to work knowing we ain't gonna buy a Bentley today.
True.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like why we think that all of a sudden today now is going to be the day things happen. It just doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? True. And what happens is we get in this battle with women because we feel like that the women start trying to play this today thing with this as if like that's going to kill anything, and it doesn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you okay, all right, hey, the coldest line is absence makes the heart grow fonder. You ever heard that before?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times they talk about that relationships with girlfriends.
Right. True.
Man, it's the relationship with people. And it's even stronger when it's with your kids.
Right.
You understand what I mean?
Huh?
The important thing is making sure your kids know that you care about them. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't always necessarily. All right, watch y'all flip this. Watch this. All right, bet. Watch this. What does a military dad do?
When he gets deployed, he has to go.
Right. Have you ever seen a military dad come home to their kids and their kids be like, you wasn't here?
That's facts. Whenever you watch those videos, as soon as they see that parent that comes back, they're on them like glue.
And these are months at a time.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. I don't even think about that because I think as a parent, especially if your kid's young, you think they're gonna forget you. You're worried about like, am I gonna be are they gonna have that same sense or how they were when I left? Is that gonna be the same feeling I'm gonna get when I get back? And from the videos and stuff you see, it seems like it's more intensified because of that stretch of time of not seeing them.
Yeah,
it shows that parent was consistently in their life, like you said, whether it's a day, week, a month, whatever it was, they were consistently there.
And they show up, they're there.
Right.
That's the important part. It's consistency, and I'm not saying consistency as in every day, every week.
Right.
I'm saying consistency as what I tell you I'm going to do, that's what I'm going to do.
Right.
If I'm going to see you, so in military, I'm going to be gone for 3-4 months. Mm-hmm. But when I come back on this date, I'm going to come see you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. And when you come back on that day, you go see them, they're sad that you were gone, but all of that's forgotten as soon as you show up.
As soon as they see you.
As soon as you show up. They're like, yo, man.
That's true. I get
you know what I mean? And just let them know, like, yo, man, I was gone not because I didn't want to be here, because I had to, whatever the situation was. Right. You know what I mean? I couldn't be here.
True.
So next month, though, on this day, I'm back.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm back.
Fall right into place.
You know what I mean? So I just want to make sure that men don't fall into this trap, man. I see men doing some crazy stuff, man, out here cussing baby mamas out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Fighting boyfriends, beating up. I mean, it's just, man, it's like, yo, man, you ain't got to do all that, man. Why you wasting your time, man? You ain't got to do all that.
I think some of that goes into what we talked about a little bit before we sat down, was that power play. The power of, feeling you have control,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know how it is everywhere else, but I just kind of feel like there's so many things, so many programs, so many television shows, so many talk shows, so many just barbershop talk that the conversation is that women have the power.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not going to sit here and say that women don't have power. You know what I mean? I'm not here to be like, oh, they don't have this and men have this. What I'm saying to you is, men, we have power too. We just need to understand how to use ours, and people don't talk about how to use ours. That's like, I guess that's just not the thing to do. You know what I mean?
Doesn't seem to be the focus.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem to be the focus, and it's like, and we have so much power in just what we do. You know what I mean? From like just day to day, everything, man. It's like if we say, I love my kids to death, man. If I tell my son that I fly, he thinks I fly. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, hey, man, I'm about to go. Gotta go fly to the moon. And I'm going to bring you some sand back. I don't even know if the moon got sand. I'm about to bring some moon sand back. You know what I mean? And that's just how real it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if I'm, and for any parent that's got kids, especially if they talk, they know that, like, I'm joking, but they know it's real at the same time. Like, the kids believe it. They believe anything.
Right.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So if they believe anything, why wouldn't they believe that you love them and that you want to be there with them?
Right.
You know what I mean? They're going to take that and run with that.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like kids will even, like, gloat, man. They'll be like, my dad ain't here, but he going to be here in 2 weeks.
Right.
In 2 weeks, he gonna be here.
And, in the thing, it can be, in your eyes, you're just like, that's not even like a gloat, but to them, it's everything.
It's everything.
It's everything. They're like,
it's everything. You be seeing it. We be seeing it. He gonna be
here.
We're
gonna go to wherever we gonna go get something to eat.
Man, I used to work with kids when I was younger, man. Them kids would be like, my dad in jail, but in 4 years, he comes out.
But it's still that bond that he built with them. That bond that he built with them.
It's the time, man. It's saying it's knowing that on this date, on this time, that this person's gonna be there, and just staying true to that, man.
Right.
And once you do that, man, can't nobody take nothing away from you.
Right.
We just need to remember that as men. Can't nobody take that away from us.
Right.
And then so when you come in, just be intentional. I'm a big believer in doing stuff intentionally. You know what I mean? And taking moments for what they are. You know what I mean? No matter how big, how small they are, slow your life down, man. We move so fast that it's hard to do that. But if you could slow life down for a little bit and just be intentional about what you do, man, like, You ain't gotta worry about that stuff, man. So I literally have my friend in tears. Cause I told him like, nah, man, I ain't about to even sweat that, man. I'm just gonna hit the kids up, tell them I want to see them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Tell them I'm expecting to see them on Friday at 5:30.
Right. Because they gotta go back to mom.
Friday at 5:30, I expect to see you.
She's gotta explain to them why
And
not.
let them explain. Let her explain why they not coming. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know? I shoot them. Matter of fact. I even doubled down, man. 5:31. I text him like, "Yo, where y'all at?" Hey, man.
I'm at the house, man.
Yo, what's going on? You need me to come get you?
Right.
Where y'all at?
Right. Oh,
hey, man, I don't stress none of that, man. Ain't got time for it.
Right.
I ain't stress none of that, man.
Right.
And I'm gonna be honest. There's been times that she didn't bring him.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it is what it is. I promise you, next weekend they don't even bring it up.
Right.
The biggest smile is if I just seen him yesterday. Nothing happens, man.
Right.
When I drop my daughter off, sometimes she still cries that I'm leaving. It don't matter. You understand what I'm saying? It's
and
like
again, they know it wasn't you that.
They know it's not me. They know it's not me. You know, and I'm gonna say this, man. I've been blessed to have a wide range of kids. You know what I mean? So my kids are I got 15, 14, 9, and 6.
Yeah, you have a range.
So I'm saying this because I'm not saying this out of like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I have a ride or like my kids, especially my oldest ones now, because they're older now and they can see us as parents and they can see us as people now. You know what I mean? You know, when you're younger, you're like, parents are like this amazing thing, even as us, right? As we start to get older, we start to look at our parents as people instead of as parents. And you're like, man, this dude's stubborn.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Man, she crazy. I didn't realize that before. She always be tripping like this. Some socks. You know what I mean? Just like the random stuff. You start to see that.
You mean the grocery store, your parent be tripping
about
something. Like, man, we got to do this right now.
Right. I say that because play the long game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Play the long game. Be consistent. You know, my older kids, you know, I'm not going to put too much out there because I don't want to put them out. Yeah. But my kids know who I am. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so because they know who I am, I don't have to fight those battles with them. Yeah. You know what I mean? If my ex was to ever say anything negative about me and who I am, my character that doesn't line up with what they know, right? Out of respect from their mom, they're not going to say nothing. But it only makes our bond tighter. True. It only makes me and her, me and my kids tighter now.
That's not our perspective. That's
because they're like, that's not who he is.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not what's going on.
Exactly, and that's where the seeing you as an individual, not just a parent, comes in too. Because they're like, they like, no, that's not what happened, man. You know what I mean? Right. And so it just builds our bond up. So now when I see them, we laugh about crazy stuff. Right.
You know what I mean? Right. And so that's just what you do, man. So you know, it's hard. First, I mean, I'm not gloating and trying to say it's easy. Right. It's not easy, but we're men. Right. What is easy for us? Nothing.
Not a whole lot.
Nothing, man. You know what I mean? But we could do it.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean, we have been doing it. We're going to continue to do it. I'm just trying to give people a different perspective about how you go about doing it. You know what I mean? Like, let's not let the exes we left still affect how we move. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we took the time to think out why we wanted to move on. So
right. There's reason behind it.
There was a reason why we did what we did. Whether it was her breaking up with you or you breaking up with them, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't want to get into that, man. There's a reason why you're here where you're at. You know what I mean? Right. You know who they are. Right. So let them be who they are. You know who you are, so be who you are. You know what I mean? At this point now, it's just take care of the kids. Right. Take care of the kids.
Focus on the blessings.
Build your relationship with your kids, and you'll be straight, man. The older my kids get, the crazier our bond gets, and the better we are, man. I'm telling you, man. My oldest, I was worried about because when we did split up, both of my older kids, they're about the same age. But I was more worried about my oldest because she's a girl, and so I was really concerned that when everything happened that she was gonna resent me being the dad leaving. You know what I mean?
Right. Not completely understanding.
She's not understanding
everything that goes on with it. Right.
Not understanding dynamics, and so I was concerned that I was gonna lose my baby girl. You know what I mean?
Right.
And in the beginning, it was a little tough.
Yeah.
But I was consistent, and I just was 100 with her. You know, yeah. I think no matter what, people will learn to recognize stuff when it's time for them to see it. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just we have to be consistent and just be honest with people. You know, one thing I told my kids that I wasn't gonna lie to them. You know, I was always going to be upfront and be very honest with them. So now at least they know when they talk to dad, they're going to get honesty out of him. Right. You know what I mean? And so
Which is good because, you know, if they're in that situation, they're going to have questions because they're not going to get the details.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they're going to, at some point, build the comfortability to ask, well, why is this?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What happened? You know, whatever, however they phrase it, depending on the age they are and all that jazz. But they want to know, like, why are things changing?
Yeah. And she used to get mad. She was mad at me, you know, and I get it. You know, I understand that. I'm not going to take that from her. But I just told her my reasons for doing it. Mm-hmm. I told her as she got older, she's going to start to see it for herself. Yeah. You know, and I just was like, yo, but at the end of the day, I just want you to know that I love you regardless. Right. Even if you're mad at me, you don't want to see me today, then you're mad at me, you don't want to see me today. I just want you to know that I want to see you. Right. And if you don't want to see me today, you don't want to see me today. Right. And I'm not going to even be mad at that. I'm going to let you live and do what you do. Right. If you want to see me tomorrow, I want to see you tomorrow.
I'll still be here.
If you don't want to see me tomorrow, I want to see you the next day. Right. I just want you to know I'm here. You know what I mean? Right. And just, you know, let them do what they do. And eventually, man, you know what I mean? They come around. They always come around because they're not dumb. Yeah. If you're consistent, you're fine. You'll be good.
Big adjustment.
It was.
So
it was.
Yeah.
So to all the single dads, you ain't gotta be single because I ain't single. Your boy, you know what I mean? I ain't single. But I'm just saying that I'm not married no more to my baby mama.
Right. Right.
So all of us that got like kids out there, man, don't be arguing with your ex about seeing these kids, man.
Yeah, it's like you said. You know the dynamic of your relationship. Just let that go.
Let that ride, man. Let that ride. And let me say this. Mm-hmm. They hate that. If you want to be petty.
That's part of the short game.
Because we're not petty. We're not petty. But if you want to be petty.
But if you lean towards that way,
if you really want to get back,
right.
Just understand, man. They hate that, man. They hate that. You know, don't ever let them see you sweat. You know
That's good though. That's good. That's a lot of good advice.
Good advice. So I want to drop some more jewels on you. You know, last time I came through, I was a wingman. I was talking about getting women. I lost them too. That happens to all of us, you know what I mean? But you gotta know how to deal with them.
Right.
And so I'm just trying to let all the men know, man, that's how you deal with them, man. That's how you gotta maneuver out here in these streets to be cool, man.
Yeah, I think you see it as men being very reactive, you know, and not playing that, not thinking about the long game, but just being very reactive to the moment and getting lost in that moment, you know, and not realizing that there is, in a sense, a strategy behind it.
Yeah.
You know, there's strategy to do it in a more civil way that could end up being more powerful than the just reacting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moment, you know?
Absolutely. People push our buttons, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially women that we cared about.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They push your buttons. And you know, it's hard to, I guess, let that slide because I think, you know, a lot of times, you know what it is, man, is like, I don't even think we're really mad at the fact that they're trying to keep the kids. I think we're mad at the fact they're trying to push our buttons.
Right. Like they're trying to get a rise.
Like you almost feel like you're like, yo, man, they're trying to do something to piss me off.
Right.
And that pisses me off. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It's almost like, you know what I mean? It's almost like I'm not like, you're not mad at somebody's like trying to fight you. It's almost like that the nerve that they would do that.
Yeah.
Like, you really gonna try to do that to me?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's when we get mad. It's not the actions, it's the thought that they put behind it. You know what I mean? Exactly. And it's like, all right. Exactly. All right.
Man. That's funny.
You know? Yeah. So we just gotta take a step back, man. It's so funny.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
And we don't even let men do it. Like, man, hey, man, if I was... we can't fight nobody. We're not gonna fight no girl or nothing like that. But if something I had something, you had something, you was like, hey man, I ain't gonna let you take this, man. We fighting.
Right.
You can't fight them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So when we know we can't fight, our other thing is, we gonna outdo you then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Our men was like, yo, either we gonna fight, and sell it, or I'm gonna outdo you and show you what's up.
Exactly.
We need to have that same mentality with women.
Exactly.
That's how I feel, man. All right, I can't fight you, so I'm gonna show you what's up.
Right.
You wanna see? I'm gonna show you what's up. You gonna try to keep the kids from me? You gonna keep the kids from me? All right. Try to keep the kids from me. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
right.
Tell them you're gonna try to keep the kids from me.
Right.
And see what happens.
Comes a different battle.
Yeah, it comes a different battle. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. She a cold piece if she could look the kids in the eyes and be like, nah, I'm not gonna take you over there because da 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 da.
Yeah, but because like you said, she sees the reaction from the kid. Mm-hmm. The kid's probably gonna throw a fit because they're like, why are you changing it?
Yeah. Right. Well, yeah. What's the problem?
The dad said he don't want to see.
He just said we can come.
Exactly. He just said, hey, where you at?
Yeah.
You know, so it's you. Yeah. All you.
Yeah, my kids will mess around. Well, just come pick me up then. Exactly. Hey, you know what's funny? Hey, man. Hey, y'all want to talk? Hey, man, I'll pull up.
Right.
I'll pull up and honk a couple times outside. Beep, 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 beep.
I got the best.
Just so they can see. Hey, man, just so they can see. And if she won't let them go outside, she won't let them come out. Okay, I'll just pull off.
Right, but it's still on you.
Bruh, man, you pull up. Hey, man, if my kids hear me pull up and knock a couple times, or ring the doorbell or blow the horn, and they're not allowed to come out, and then I pull off, man, they're going to be hurt, and they're not going to be hurt at me.
Yeah.
They're going to be hurt at her.
Exactly.
Because I was there.
Exactly. And then, you know, even if she's tough in a moment, she's going to break.
I don't care what you say. That affects her.
Yeah, she's going to break and then have to resolve it, though. She has to pat it.
And if she doesn't break, because let's just say that. I'm going to try to talk to every man, because, you know, there's people that's probably just not going to. There's probably girls out there that don't even break. They don't even care.
Right.
I'm going to tell you what. Again, this whole conversation is not about the girls. I really don't care about the women. That's not where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
But your kids, though, this is what's going to happen. They're going to see that. Yeah. They're going to see that mom is a cold piece.
Right.
And they're going to start to resent her.
Right.
And the more they start to resent her, the more they're going to love you more. The more they're going to want to earn to see you. The more they're going to be like, yo, man, I just want to see my dad.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And all you have to do is keep showing up and be consistent.
Right.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
And when it's time for them to actually link up with you, man, that connection going to be so tight. Because they're going to know that you've been putting up with all this BS.
Yeah, once they really understand it, yeah.
You were doing it for them. You were going through all this BS for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Use your knowledge as us as grown men. Use that knowledge right now. Understand. Okay, look, so let's say this. Have we been in a situation where we wanted to see somebody and they went through all this work to see us? How would you feel about them? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Knowing all the BS they went through.
Right.
Like, yo, man, you did all that to come see me?
Yeah.
Just to spend time with me?
Shows a lot.
It shows a lot, man. It shows a lot. Whatever that is, you know? I feel, all right, let's say this. The more BS you got to go through, the more BS that your ex is giving you to go through, I'm going to say the better bond you're going to have with your kids as long as you're consistent. I will start thanking her. She start giving you some BS, I'll be like, shit, you just don't know what you're doing.
Yourself up, yeah.
You just don't know what you're doing right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Once they get old enough to start making their own decisions, it's a wrap.
Right. Right.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, because all those memories are still going to be fresh.
They're going to still be there. They're going to remember all that. And your bond going to be super tight. Just be consistent. Just let them know you want to see them, and then you're going to, whatever you can do to show up, you're going to be there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'll tell my friends, hey, man, listen, bro. So from a legal standpoint, here, let's talk about some legal stuff for a second. You could be on the sidewalk legally.
Oh, it's true. That's public property.
You could be on the sidewalk legally. Right. Okay. Now I'm saying that because if your kid's in kindergarten, preschool, where they can see and say, "Hey, there's dad."
Right.
Man, if your ex or whatever's came from you, I pull up to the sidewalk not on a sidewalk. You be on the opposite side. I just pull up and I would sit out there for like 30 minutes on every Friday or every whatever. You know,
right. Just
to show that you was there. Your kids are gonna see that.
True.
Your kids are gonna see that and then dip. You ain't even need to call her or whatever.
And they're still gonna ask why.
They're gonna ask those questions. They're gonna start asking those questions. You see it now. They're gonna start asking those questions. What is that dad?
Right.
What's dad doing over there? He can't come in here?
Right, exactly.
Can I go see him? Can I go outside?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Leave something. If you want, hey, leave something. Get some chalk. Y'all, listen, man, I'm on some real, man. Pull up on the sidewalk and write I love their name on some chalk and dip.
Right.
It's the little stuff. It's the little stuff. Yeah. It's so big for them. It's so big for them. They just want to see you. It's consistency.
Right.
It's consistency. You know what I mean? Yeah. When they start seeing that stuff, they're gonna be like, yo, especially when they start piecing it together and be like, yo, look, if your ex is keeping them from you and you're showing up every other week, whatever's convenient for you, I'm just gonna say it's convenient for you. Right. Every other week. And I'm gonna just say this as a male, if you can't show up every other week for 30 minutes, then you're slacking as a dad. That's just how I feel.
Right. So you're talking every other week.
30 minutes. Come on, my niggas. Right. Come on, man. Yeah. You're slacking.
2 out of 30 days. Yeah.
You're slacking, bro.
I got you.
If every other week you show up wherever it's at on the sidewalk, if she's not gonna let you in, she's not gonna let you in, whatever it is, what it is. But just show up and write a note. Say hello, yell her name, whatever. It doesn't matter. It could be super simple, but just be there for at least 30 minutes. Okay. That 30 minutes is to allow that person to see that you were there, to allow your son or allow your daughter to see that you were there. Yeah. You understand what I mean? Yeah. And then that's going to start making them ask questions. Right. From a legal standpoint, that's not long enough for you to be stalking. You're not doing nothing crazy. You know what I mean? Don't go out there yelling. I mean, just go out there and just so they can see you. Sit outside in front of your car, lean on your car, be on your phone, just chill, to scroll through Facebook, Instagram, just whatever. Just be there for 30 minutes so your kids can see that you're there and have a consistent, basis so they know. Eventually, your kids are going to start looking out the window around that time. Yeah.
They'll train themselves.
It'll train themselves. They're going to start seeing
they'll start looking at it. They'll first recognize the day.
Yep.
And then they'll slowly start recognizing what time.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. And just be for 30 minutes. Eventually, they're going to get to the age where they can start talking. When they start talking, they're going to start having questions. Right. And who's going to have to answer them? Mom. True. She's going to continue to have to keep answering those questions. Eventually, they're going to get a phone eventually. Nowadays, parents are giving people phones at 7, 8 years old. Right. I mean, I'm just saying, man. They're getting Facebooks. They're getting all kinds of stuff. Man, 7, 8 years old. 7, 8 years old when they can start contacting you however they want, because parents ain't really keeping up with kids and their phones. Right. So they can start contacting you. There you go. And I would keep up with your same 30 minutes. Yeah. Hey, maybe I can't come see you, but I'm gonna be out there 30 minutes. Right. Hey, man, when you see me, know I'm your dad. Right. And you ask your mom, you can come see me. Yeah. They say no, whatever, man. Yeah. 30 minutes.
I want to see.
Keep it going.
So ask your
keep going. Keep going. You can't go to jail for that. What are they gonna say? Right. Police officer, what are they going to say? There's nothing. What are they going to say? This man shows up for 30 minutes every other Friday because he wants to see his kids. He just wants to let the kids know that he's here. Yeah. There's nothing legally. I don't know, man. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I don't think there's anything legally that they can do to say that you did anything.
I don't think so.
But what you're doing is you're building some type of relationship with your kids. Let them know that you're there. Right. And you want to see them. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what's important is the presence. You're there and you want to see them. Right. And then once they get to that age to where I can't control them, I promise you they're going to be hitting you up like, I'm here. Just come see me. Yeah. I'll meet you at school.
I believe that.
Break, after break, whatever, after school come. They'll start letting you know. They'll start putting it together for you. Yeah. And then there you go, your relationship. And then once they get 18, it's a wrap, man. They're going to come pull up whenever they want.
Exactly.
And then by then, your relationship going to be so tight because they're going to be like, man, you've been doing this. You know what I mean? Just think about that, man. You know what I mean? Think about from a kid's perspective. They're going to be like, man, this dude was the stories. Yeah. Think about the stories they're gonna tell.
Yeah.
Think about the bond they're gonna have with their kids. Be like, man, my dad used to come see me for 30 minutes. I wouldn't even speak to him, but he would just come up and just pull up to come see me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's who my dad is.
That's deep.
You understand what I mean? And from a dad, what is that for you? I'm just saying on some real shit. If we want to really just kind of for a little bit, what's 30 minutes to one of us to be outside?
Nothing. You know?
That's nothing.
Not when it's, in a every other week situation.
That's
you got 24 hours in that day. It's just 30 minutes.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
Pull up with your friend, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But just still be present.
Just be present, man. Pull up with your friend. Pull up with your girl. Post up. 30 minutes. Right. That's all it takes. Just to see the consistency. They just want to see the consistency.
Right.
That's all you need.
Right.
You'll be straight.
I like that.
Yeah, man.
That was good.
It's a little game, man. Just a little something I want to throw at y'all last minute.
People need to share that game, You gotta you got a lot of people that need to hear it. Maybe it triggers something. Maybe it shows them something they can learn and be like, okay, let me take a different approach to this.
Yeah.
Different perspective could lead to a different approach and ultimately can lead to a different outcome.
Yeah,
so.
man. And I'm taking notes, man. If anybody got other suggestions, other stuff to do it, go ahead, man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say I'm an expert. I'm just saying I learned a little bit, and I'm always down to learn some more. So if anybody got any better ideas, keep it going. I just want to make sure that the dads are holding down our fort, man. Because our fort is crazy.
Yes.
Don't let them know. Don't anybody tell you that we don't run the world, because we do.
Yes. Dads are important.
Yeah, off top.
Dads are very important.
So, like always, man, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Thanks for letting me come through. Say my BS. You know what I mean? I kind of slide in, slide out when I get in where I fit in, man.
Get the time. I understand.
Yeah, man.
I completely understand.
So I'm back out wingmanning again, you know what I mean?